Monahan the dude because he came from the Flames. I don't have faith in them either.
The refs absolutely.
Mark Scheifele, drop the gloves, fight him.
Make the NHL violent again.
Welcome everybody to Talk That Stick. My name is Jared.
CJ?
Paul.
Matt.
So how you guys been doing?
You know, not too bad. Just been playing some NHL, vibing, getting booted off a couple times. Game ends up pissing you off.
Well, it's more or less me and my wife. I get booted off like mid-game and we lose a game and we're stomping them, but it's not a big deal.
Vibes are huge.
It doesn't bother me at all.
Vibes are huge. It's good to be here in person for the first time with you guys. Love it. Hey, buddy.
Robbie.
Guest appearance. Sorry, we should introduce our guest here.
Yeah, main guest here right now is Robin the Cat. So everybody give a shout out to Robin the Cat. But boys,
Sup, Robin?
I'm happy to have you guys here for the first pod ever in person. So
Yeah, it's good to have Paul join the team here in person. It's good to see you, buddy. It's been minutes.
You too, buddy.
I'm digging the tattoos, by the way.
Yeah,
I didn't get tattoos before.
Yeah, it's because I'm covered up, baby.
But no, just to jump into some stuff here. One thing that I noticed has been talked about in the last week or so is the Patrick Laine situation. And I don't know what is wrong with that, like why people haven't covered it, but I think that it's really good that he's getting the help that he's getting, and he's taking a step for himself, and that his club's helping him out. So what do you guys think about that?
Yeah, I agree. Part of me understands why it's not getting a lot of coverage because privacy is important, right? And we're not here to speculate on what's going on with the guy. And I'm gonna put this here. And I think the main thing is just if you do get the information on what's going on with him, that can affect his contract, right? Like if some leak comes out that he's in for XYZ, the club can use it against him. And that's one thing I think the Players Association does really well is taking care of their guys with discrepancy and not releasing what's going on with him.
Yeah.
But I love that he's getting the help that he needs. I love that his teammates are behind him. Johnny Gaudreau picking up what he can and donating cash for every point that he gets.
Yeah,
Class act.
It's
right
so class.
It's good to see him being a good guy once in a while.
yeah, no, honestly, dude, I shout out
there. That's the
to
Calgary guy.
shout out to Patrick Laine for just going and getting the help, bro.
100%. And it's not just the NHL. It's not just professional sports. It's everybody. Like, if you need help, get help. Like,
At the end of the day, everyone's humans. They're humans. Before they're athletes, before they're
100%.
hockey players, before they're, everything, they're just humans. And I think humans do need help once in a while. And, this is I think that this helps the fact that no matter how much money you make, no matter what role you're in life, NHL player, people still have their struggles. Money doesn't fix everything.
Well, not only that too, dude, just being away from the game itself. Like, you've been away from the game before.
Yeah.
You've been away from the game before with your heart, with your hand, right?
Yeah.
Like, that's struggling in itself. So the fact that he's reaching out and finally getting the help, and I've noticed a lot of NHL players this year are starting to do that.
Absolutely.
And that's something I applaud every player doing that and getting that help.
There's no shame.
No, there's no
shame. It used to be everybody assumes it's drugs. Everybody assumes it's something. Man, we are fragile.
Yeah.
We are fragile. And these boys go out, big guys, crushing hits. You're making millions. Everything's great. Man, you're just a human being, dude.
Yeah.
Well, and like even making the money, like sometimes the money's not everything,
And no, like there's tons of players
Yeah.
that get bought out from their, $8 million contracts and signed for
Rick
a mil.
DiPietro.
Yeah,
Yeah.
And then they end up crushing it after because they don't have the pressure of money. Like, everything is pressure built. These guys are human beings. I just hope everybody who's ever entered the program is leaving it a better person.
And honestly, boys, like if you guys ever need the help, like reach out to people. There's always going to be people out there to help you. And if you don't have those people, you guys can always reach out to us because we're very open to helping out mental health community and just help in general. And it doesn't matter what you're going through. There's people that care about you. There's people that will care about you. And shout out to Patrick Laine for getting that help.
Definitely. Maybe we can throw a link down for where you can get help from mental health.
Yeah, like I know that we like to have a good time here and joke around and have lots of fun, but I think mental health is one thing that's really serious.
Yeah.
And I don't like to. I know we don't like to joke about that. And a lot of people should that probably they shouldn't do, but they do. And like I've heard about like people saying the whole like Fortnite thing with him, and there was a time a few years ago he was humble, like he was missing practice because of Fortnite and all this other stuff.
Yeah.
And that's one thing, but like the things people have been saying about this is a whole different. Like it's not even in the same like.
It's different.
It's such more severe situation than like him missing practice to play video games.
And we don't even know. Like maybe Fortnite is the thing that calms his mind.
Maybe.
Exactly.
Yeah,
Because
maybe
I know for
brings him
me,
down.
when I'm riled up, like it can be something as dumb as just playing the guitar or playing shell with you boys.
Yeah.
Like that quiets the mind.
Mm-hmm.
And maybe he wasn't missing practice because of Fortnite.
Yeah.
Maybe he was missing a practice because of something else, and Fortnite was calming him down.
Well, people
You don't know. We're speculating, but like
yeah.
that's.
I think people don't take into account too. He's always been in the shadow of Austin Matthews to a point when he got drafted second over him, and they've always had that thing, and everyone's like, oh, at the end of the day, I understand how people get drafted. Like, there's always been that rivalry, but like, I think sometimes, obviously, they take their job very serious. They love the game. They make so much money to play. Like, they're celebrities at the end of the day, right? They are celebrities.
Yes, sir.
But at the end of the day, like, it is just a sport to a point.
It's a kids' game.
Yeah,
we enjoy watching.
Exactly.
Like it's a game.
And I think that the pressure that's from these people, no normal person can handle that kind of shit. You know what I mean? Like, it's too. You have to be a certain kind of person to handle the media, like things people say about you online. Like back in the '80s when they played, they didn't have to deal with that.
No.
It's different now. You have to.
Sure.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, you go in the public, everyone sees you. You go online, everyone sees. Like, you know what I mean? You're under the microscope all the time, and who knows what could have contributed to him. But I'm happy he's getting his help. And
Me too, man.
Yeah. Well, and Nichushkin's in the same boat, right?
Carey Price, like,
Carey
lots
Price.
of
I was
people.
gonna say,
And like obviously you don't want to speculate between the two, but like just you can see every year more and more that these players are going and getting the help that they need. And you know what? It promotes mental health for the game as well, because you see a guy like Nichushkin going and getting the help he needs. You're like, what if Nichushkin's your favorite player?
Yeah.
Right? You go out there and you're like, oh, he's getting the help that he needs. Like maybe I can get help as well too, right? So
to think of if we were 10, 15 years in advance before Rick Rippon, if this was well talked about, I know we had VXI, I know we had teammates and loved ones and everything, but get help before it gets to that bad point,
yeah.
And I'm happy if it saves one NHL player
Yeah.
from doing the worst thing possible, then I'm happy. And not just NHL players, everybody.
Anybody, yeah.
Yeah, and
Let's go.
And you know what? We will drop a link down below.
Yep.
And it will be localized to Vancouver boys, and we'll try to get out there and reach out to more than just Vancouver. But we'd love to start helping out with that and really recognize how important it is to get the help when you need help. So to end it on that note, boys, like
Absolutely.
great job, Laine. We're proud of you. I'm sorry for the slack that you got from some other creators, which is absolutely
It was
ridiculous.
so
Uncalled, dude. It's uncalled for.
Man,
You know.
those guys obviously have no respect or class, and those people know they know who they are, and those people are they're not good people. And
Yeah. You know who you are too. At
Yeah.
the end of the day, and you knew that was an outrageous comment to say about Patrick Laine and just NHL players as a whole. And I hope that you do feel ashamed of that. And yeah, honestly, boys, I want to leave it there because I don't want to speculate too much on that, of course. But
No, good work.
speaking of this kind of situation, Shane Pinto is back from his, I believe, it was a 41-game suspension for gambling, and people have their things to say about that. I think that I've always thought he's a pretty good player.
Oh, he's sick.
He's pretty nuts. And when I first found out that happened, I'm like, man, that's 41 games. That's half the season. That's a hit. That's a hit, man.
It's a hit, but honestly, I think this is a tough thing to say, but it was pretty good for Ottawa because they could not afford to re-sign him at the cap hit that he was going to make.
No.
But after this, they got to sign him for half a season. They're still gonna have to make room for the guy because he is nasty. He's gonna get 4+.
Well, he's probably gonna play with a fire under his ass right now too. He's got to make up some stuff. He probably wants some bonuses and stuff. And I don't want to address it too long, but what do you boys think of Shane Pinto wearing a Bet 365 sponsor on his helmet?
It's just hilarious.
Is that not like the
It's
most like
backwards?
yeah like
Dude, it's outrageous in my opinion. Like, I get it though. Like, if you think about it, the NHL, like, this is kind of. Can you name a situation, bro, where it's like where it's happened like this, like the Shane? Yeah, Evander Kane, but different. I think it was a little bit different in that sense, but like with Shane Pinto, it's like this is the first like extreme case.
Yeah.
You know, so it's like of course the NHL is going to give a PP whack to him.
Yeah.
Like, you know, they want to show an example, and now probably these NHL players, boys, are probably not going to go do that, regardless if it was him or his friends. Which
there's a controversy surrounding the whole thing.
Well,
you're never gonna know the truth.
yeah, exactly, and they're not going to release that. You know how the NHL is with like, you know, keeping a tight lock, of course, with sponsors and everything. But I think it's outrageous that you can have that betting app there. But then again, like, it goes into what you were saying about betting and everything, right? Like, that's just the culture it is now.
Business. And
There's a reason why they can afford to get into a major sport. Like the second online gambling became legal, who like how many ads you see Wayne Gretzky and McDavid in the same betting ad.
yeah,
That's insane.
Austin
Yeah.
Matthews is on there too.
Yeah, like, and I'm
So
guilty.
top
I definitely have sports bets, and I love it, but I'm responsible with it. I know it can be a problem for some people. I choose to believe that what Pinto claimed is true. That it was a friend of his on his account, whatever. That's very possible.
Yeah.
Do you honestly, do you like, speaking realistically here, do you think that these NHL players, I get you can't gamble on the game, right?
Mhm.
I get that, but does that also go into effect with other leagues? Like, can you just not bet at all?
I think
the rule is you can bet on other leagues. You just can't bet on your sport.
because
Well, actually, no, you can probably bet on your sport. Like, you can probably bet on women's
Nothing
hockey,
that-
but you can't bet anything NHL.
nothing that you can have an effect in.
Yeah,
Exactly.
Yeah.
Nothing you can like play shitty for a game.
Can you imagine if he's got like Yahoo Fantasy, right? Shout out to Yahoo Fantasy. And he's got all his Ottawa boys on there. He's like, yeah, you guys got to kill it tonight. I'm playing Claude Giroux tonight.
Hey boys, you guys do well. I'm taking everybody out for drinks.
That might be different though, because for some Yahoo leagues, don't put any money down. So if they put any money down, I don't think there's anything
Absolutely,
against that.
and they also do that in room.
Yeah.
You guys have heard the term "money on the board."
Yeah.
Yeah.
They do that in their own room. Like, you know, a guy just got traded, and then now they're playing his old club, so he sauces up $5,000 on there. If he's pulling in sheets, throws up $5,000. Like, we beat these guys, boys. We're going on a party. So like, that's a form of gambling. I mean, kind of. It's not really, but like, yeah, it's a gray area, but they like just bet on the NFL.
Well, man, like, yeah, like, kind of bringing it back like the Evander Kane situation. I think he was the first one that really brought gambling issues in the NHL. At least first one I can think of publicly. Yeah, and that was just because like he's just not smart with his money, and he's not smart with his decision making. At least back then he wasn't. I think he's cleaned up a little bit since he's been in Edmonton, but
100%.
I mean, Edmonton's basically just like if you do anything wrong, like they just signed Corey Perry, you know, Evander Kane, like
Zach Cassian.
yeah, like that's the team. Where like he's like, we don't care what your name was, we don't care where you played, we don't care what you did. You just come play for us.
And
It's okay.
that's a good strategy to get good players because Evander Kane's been nice for them.
Oh, yeah.
And
Yeah.
also, I don't think if you make one mistake, you
No.
should just be shunned. You're done.
Yeah.
Unless, like, depending on mistake, obviously.
Yeah, well,
But like, yeah, and I don't even think there was any allegations of gambling on NHL. I think he just had
no,
a gambling problem.
apparently he didn't. From what I heard, he never even had a gambling problem. He just gambled like an idiot. He was just bad.
He's just bad at gambling.
He's just bad at gambling. Like
So Evander Kane and me, we're not so different.
Yeah.
yeah.
He's just in the show.
Yeah,
and
No, but
Yeah,
he's just
he-
betting 10,000.
Well,
we're out betting
he's-
$10, and we're both equal.
You know, it's probably gonna be a problem when you gamble and like you bet the cap for the San Jose Sharks. Like he's like, hey boys, let me take it. I'll gamble it. I'll make it back with the players. It didn't happen.
It didn't happen.
He still owes them money.
Yeah.
Obviously, it didn't happen, but you know, like,
Yeah.
but no, like that's such a crazy situation, man.
But like, shout out to Edmonton though,
Dude.
for being, because like Paul said, like if you really think about it, it's a good strategy.
a good strategy.
Nobody wanted Evander Kane.
Nope.
Except Edmonton came in rolling
And
in.
they got him
Cheap.
like cheap.
$4 million, I think.
Cheap.
a season.
And he well no, but before. I think
Oh, yeah.
I think now he's at 4 million.
Yeah, so before they got him, I think it was like
I thought it was a
900K
minimum.
or something.
Yeah,
Something
it was
really cheap for him.
just above minimum.
Like he was still
And
like
he
paying back debt
promptly-
while he was playing.
Yeah, and he promptly like put up points, as of course he would. Like he's a good player. He's just on a bad team in San Jose.
And he's a,
Well, the moral of the story is like everybody does deserve second chances.
Yeah,
Like if you really think about it, right? Like even the Shane Pinto thing. Like I'm glad to see he came back and scored.
oh, he's a gross player.
Yeah,
he's gonna be a good player.
He's nasty. Like I've debated picking him up in fantasy, right?
I might.
Yeah.
No, I said it first.
Yeah.
You guys can have him. I'm going after someone else.
Where are you going? Where are you going
I'm
after?
not gonna say. I'm not gonna say that on the
Well,
pod.
now you gotta say it.
There's no way.
I
As
think
soon
he's
as
going
this
after
conversation-
Evander Kane.
No, I'm
Evander
not going
Kane-
after
It's
Evander.
already taken.
Yeah, he's already taken. But yeah,
he's
no.
gonna say it, and then you're gonna see you just in the corner, and be like, "Hey, I want second."
Yeah, that's exactly why I'm not
Real
gonna say
quick.
who it is.
You know what's funny about Matt though is whenever we do fantasy, like he'll be talking to one of our buddies, Dearmid, you know him, and he's like, "Oh, who are you picking up?" And then Matt will tell him who to pick up, and then like a couple minutes later, it says Ross Sewage picked up Hellebuck or whatever, and then Dearmid comes back, he's like, "Oh, you scumbag, bro."
I remember that happened with Blake Wheeler, and he promptly put up a goal for me for that game, so I was happy with that. That's
Yeah.
fine.
Yeah,
In my other league, I traded. I got both Kachuk brothers for I think Quinn Hughes, and I traded. And then I traded like Brady off to like for a bunch of packages and stuff. My brother got caught like trying to like collude with me. He's like, bro, I'm not winning this league. Like, you guys can have all of it.
yeah.
My brother's got Nikita Kucherov and he's got Kale McCarr. So I'm like,
Yeah.
okay, we can do that. And he's like, yeah, just give me like, because I have Jesper Bratt and Clayton Keller. He's like, give me Jesper Bratt and Clayton Keller for Kucher McCarr. I'm like, bro, that's gonna get vetoed so quick.
Yeah.
So quick. And then we did the trade, didn't get vetoed. They weren't paying attention.
Insider trading. Also, though, like on that topic, a couple seconds ago, Blake Wheeler, man, nasty.
Oh,
injury.
dude, that
That's
was-
so tough, dude.
Oh man, that was brutal.
That's so tough.
Especially after like I wouldn't say he was having a stellar season,
I
but
was picking it up.
for what he was paid for,
Yeah.
properly rated, great, good guy. And the fact that he went from the Jets, everybody was like, "Oh, locker room cancer, right?" And then he comes over to the New York Rangers, no problems.
I don't think it's I think it's a similar scenario with Bo Horvat and the Canucks, where it's not necessarily a cancer. It's just this is Blake Wheeler's culture,
Yeah,
and it needed a culture shift.
yeah,
Like
You should
Bo
have seen
Horvat is crushing it for the Islanders right now.
yeah.
Dude,
He's crushing
He's
it.
crushing it.
He's crushing it.
He's as good as advertised. He's
I
worth.
would say Anthony Beauvillier is like he's a stud. He's a stud. That
But,
guy's good stuff.
Sometimes it just takes taking the C off a guy and giving it to Quinn Hughes. So now it's Quinn's locker room. It's a younger locker room. They're building around that guy, and like getting removed from your team like that
Yeah.
will humble you a bit.
Yeah.
And then you're getting put into New York, like the brighter lights than we have going on here in
Yeah.
New York. He's going to take a back seat, and I bet you, I would guarantee it, the boys will love him in that locker room. He brings
Yeah.
experience, he brings size, he brings skill. Like he would have been money for them in the playoffs, and hopefully he gets healthy enough to play in the playoffs.
See, but the thing with the Rangers is, I'm gonna say it. I think they're the biggest fugazis out of
Oh,
the
dude.
whole league.
Oh yeah.
I'm sorry, like I'm not a big Rangers fan. Not a big guy, not a big guy for the Rangers. I do not believe in their talent. I don't believe in Shesterkin being able to continue what he's doing.
Well, dude, they've got a Fox Trophy winner on their team.
Guys, you couldn't be more wrong.
Why? Why? Tell me why.
Because people were saying that about Washington, and then you just need all the cracks at it, and then you'll win one.
Okay, but
They're a team that is good enough. I know they're getting older. Panarin's getting older,
yeah,
but they have some nice young talent. If they keep knocking on the door,
yeah.
they might end up kicking that.
Okay, but if you
motherfucker
got Jonathan Quick as your starter going into the playoffs, great goaltender.
down.
having
he's
a
been
six-
so nice.
Well,
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
There's no problem with that.
Yeah,
Nice
but-
New York though.
I'm sorry, but like, how much sheets is Shesterkin getting right now? He's at what, 8, 7? Anyways, but that's besides the point. You're gonna have that guy as your backup. Just the morale of the team would be rough. And Shesterkin, granted, is having that last couple
Aiden
games.
Hill.
Yeah,
you don't
yeah.
have to have a great goaltender. To
You
win
just
the
need
Stanley
somebody
Cup.
to be hot.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I agree, but again,
Jonathan
I
Quick is
just
a hot
don't
man.
really think the Rangers have
He's-
that. You know what I mean?
So I think
He's no
when-
Lundqvist. Like,
No, he's a look.
I
they
think
also
when it
have the
comes-
hottest goalie ever, both in talent and just
looks.
Man Rocket, like
Yeah.
it's the hottest dude I've ever seen.
And I don't think you can say that a team doesn't have it when they're currently first in their division. Like, yes, you can say that when a team is like, second, third, maybe in a wild card spot. And you're like, yeah, they probably don't have it this year. You can't say they're pretenders if they're first in their division. Like, that means you're good. You can't just accidentally luck your way to first
So
in the
Ottawa
division.
Senators,
the Montreal Canadiens, in the bubble.
Montreal
Yeah.
Canadiens.
But
Like,
hey, to be
that's
fair, I think being first in your division sometimes is very inflated because we've had
Okay,
people.
no. It used to be inflated when you played a lot of games within division. Now with the new structure of how the seasons are scheduled, you play half of your games outside of your division. You play a lot of
That's
games
true.
outside of your division now.
Two
I still-
against every team.
I still
So-
think the Rangers are
yeah.
overinflated on the paper, and I don't think they win the cup. I don't think they even make it past second round.
I don't think they get past.
I don't
second
think
round
they
either.
get
Who takes them out in the second round then?
If-
Because it has to be another team in the Metro. Who takes them out? Carolina, I'm not confident right now.
I'm confident.
The only thing with Carolina is they need to rack up on goaltending.
Yeah,
and so-
Kov isn't going to do it for him, dude. Like,
And then if we're talking about goaltending, like Carolina's a clear case where it's like they need goaltending to go.
So
far.
if Carolina doesn't trade for a goalie at the trade deadline, it's like, we can't
I'll
really get
concede.
one.
Then they get out of the second round.
Yeah.
They get out in second round. But if Carolina gets a goaltender, I don't think they get past Carolina. And then plus, if you really they're not getting past Florida.
no,
Florida's
Florida's
in the Atlantic.
I know,
so-
but third
yeah.
round,
So-
third
Yeah,
round.
but
teams.
I'm saying
so-
they have a good chance getting out of the second round at least.
I agree.
I-
Yeah. It's not like a definite they're not getting out of the second round.
okay. If they play Florida, though, Florida walks them.
Yeah, but that's in the conference final. So
Reinhardt's nice. Kachuk picked it up. He's nice. He's able to lead the team in points. Bobrovsky's like this one dude that I don't understand who can still save stuff, but he saves it. Like, it makes no sense to me how old he is. Like, have you seen him without his pads?
Yeah.
yeah, he's
Rough.
skinny
But
dude.
he is like such a good goalie, and like I don't understand how he still has this longevity that he's had. Because for a while there, he was horrible, like such garbage, and then now he like turned it around since like the Cup Finals.
Yeah.
Since Florida got good.
Yeah, dude,
essentially,
and
yeah.
man, like it's insane. I'm actually really happy Florida's play this year, but
Well,
no,
and
I think the Rangers are just I don't trust them. I don't believe in them.
I don't have faith in them either. And then plus, if they make it to the third round, say it's Boston that makes it to the third round.
Yeah,
You have faith over. You have faith.
No, at the start of this conversation, I didn't say New York. I just said, you guys are saying, I don't believe in them, they're not that good. I'm like, they are good. They'll probably make it past the second round, but that's probably it, because the Atlantic's way better.
Well,
Yeah.
like you know,
I agree. I agree
yeah,
with that. I
That's
agree
it.
with that sentiment.
That's it. Adam Fox doesn't get mad at the team and say he wants to be put somewhere else, and then like
Okay, there it is.
go win another
There
Adam
it
Fox trophy. And,
Yeah, there it is.
you know,
Yeah.
We're all waiting for that. Everybody who's listening, that's your cue to drink because he brought it up. So.
yeah, I actually have a drink again every time we have
I know, every time you mention the Adam Fox trophy.
Adam Fox trophy, the flame. Yeah, for
That-
sure.
that-
Dude, but
Muppet
speaking
Joe.
of, speaking of tough losses, boys, the Winnipeg Jets and the Vancouver Canucks.
It's not a tough loss.
It's not a tough loss when
Remember?
we're still first.
Wait,
league.
didn't we just have this
Didn't we
conversation?
just
Didn't we
have this
just have this
conversation
conversation?
about one game in the NFL format? The Jets would win, and you guys were like, "No, give me this game." The Canucks, man, all riding the Canucks, and look what happened.
Referees have
Look
Referees,
what
did you watch the game?
happened.
Did you watch
Look
the game?
what happened.
Did you guys actually watch the
Yes,
game?
I watched the game.
the refs absolutely blew.
Mark Scheifele is the biggest diver in the entire league. He's a great player, but he's one of the most sleazy players in the entire league.
just under Tim Stützle though.
Yeah,
Yep.
takes cheap shots on Jake Evans, and then JT Miller just puts a little shoulder and he cocks his head back when
You
he got
get
shot.
an elbow here, and you're going like
I think somebody would say right here scoreboard. What was the score?
that's fine.
It's fine.
What was the score?
4-2.
Okay, so for the exercise that we did in the NFL, one game thing, yeah. If the referees lose the game, we lost that series.
Yeah.
But like, did you guys watch that game?
Yeah.
So we outplayed them. We outplayed them. They just capitalized when they could in a 7-game series.
Yeah.
They sweep you guys.
We'll wait and see what happens. But
No, I
Winnipeg's nasty. Winnipeg's a
They're
sick
good.
team.
Sean Monahan scored too.
Yeah,
John
yeah.
Monahan did good because he came from the Flames.
yeah, his
Drink.
first goal
Drink.
since he got traded there, so I'm not going to get too hyped about him yet. Just
Hey,
because he scored
but
one goal.
You know what? Kudos to Lindholm. Picking it up a little bit here.
Oh,
so,
definitely.
yeah.
Lindholm's been great.
yeah, no.
Lindholm's been great. Monahan's been great. Like,
Speaking of another Canadian team, how do you guys feel about Morgan Riley just taking that guy's head off?
Dude,
Man,
Go on.
we need more of that in the NHL for real. We need more of that. I'm an old school guy. Everyone knows like at this point. But if you walk up and you take a clapper on an empty net, you need to get checked for that.
Yeah.
What do you feel about it?
So here's what I feel about it. Morgan Riley, absolutely retaliate to that. That's fine.
100%.
But maybe, don't be a little rat and take your cross stick and go right to his head. Drop the gloves. Fight him. Do it like a man.
He's not gonna.
Do it like a man. Right? Drop the gloves. And then if you don't want to get scored on an
That's
empty
right.
net, win the game, Toronto. I'm sorry.
Did you hear Revo's quote after the game?
No, I did not.
No. He after the game, they were talking about like toughness and everything, and like how the NHL's missing that grittiness. And then he drops a sick quote, and he goes, "Make the NHL violent again."
Well, I'm like one of the last ones left. I mean,
How many fights does he have this year?
I think
dude, he doesn't
Like what,
deter
2?
anything. He doesn't.
no,
do
he fought Wi-Fi in the beginning of the season.
Yeah.
It wasn't even a fight.
and he got pumped. He got
pumped by a
He got
19-year-old
pumped.
kid. Zach Cassian.
That-
He also pumped Pat Maroon.
That guy's scary.
Dude, Wi-Fi. I want to meet that guy.
I want
that
that guy on my team.
Yeah,
Like,
bro.
That guy is so
does nothing with the puck, but that dude's like the new Bob
Dude,
Probert.
he scored.
Like a year ago.
No,
A couple
no.
games ago.
No, it was
Oh.
it was yesterday that Montreal played there, right? Yeah,
Yeah.
he scored.
Dude, that guy is like the living reincarnation of like Bob Probert.
Oh, dude, he's so
Probe.
sick.
Yeah. No.
But also, Morgan Riley, the stick rode up. I know he didn't mean to check him in the head.
Yeah.
And let's say the stick didn't hit his head and it was to the shoulder. He would have put him into the boards, and then what would have happened after? They would have dropped it. It was unfortunate, and I think Greg, I've heard both. Ridley. See, I'm all over that.
Yeah.
But he stayed down.
Bro, he sold that.
He sold
He
it.
sold
Yeah,
that.
of course.
He did get hit in the head,
But
absolutely.
it also it rode up. It's not like he was
It rode
directly
up,
to the face.
exactly.
He rode up on. He sold it. He
But-
was trying to like
I'm
He's
A-okay
teaming
with
with
what he did.
suits the buddy. Like
Yeah, clapping it point blank into the net. Love
I
that.
gotta say that was pretty
I
savage.
love
Yeah,
that.
That was
That's
beauty.
against your your team's not great, and this is one of your biggest rivals, and they have the Toronto Heat, the spotlight,
Yeah.
center of the hockey universe. So this is your time.
Make a statement.
And he
Get your
made a
name out there.
statement. And one thing he has to know is like somebody's gonna come after you. Like
Yeah.
you don't expect a cross check to the head, but the fact that he was just skating along the boards
Like nothing was gonna happen.
nothing was gonna happen. You can do that in my beer league game, and I'm coming after you. I got a couple guys on my team that would probably beat me to it because they're better skaters.
You know what makes it better is that George Peros is the guy in charge.
Oh yeah,
And he's like one of the biggest like goon heads I've ever seen in my
that's
life.
a whole nother story.
But 5 games?
That's too much.
That's a
He should've
lot
got
of games.
He should have
dude.
got 2 games and 5,000. Like that's.
I was thinking 3,
And like
Yeah.
how many offenses has this guy committed?
0.
Morgan Riley. Yeah,
Zero.
you first and you're giving him 5?
He's such a clean player.
Yeah, I think the reason why they gave him 5, it happened at the end of the game, so automatically, usually that means they add an extra game to what
Yeah.
it would have been if it occurred like midway through the game or at the start of the game.
Sure.
And then I think also it had to do with they don't want that sort of retaliation thing happening in the league, so they can't have bigger
So I made
suspension.
an example.
That's all it is.
Oh,
If it was just in the middle of the game, they're scrapping and gets cross-checked to the head in the middle of the game, 3-game suspension. I agree. The fact that it was a retaliation thing
Well, yeah, I need to back up. This is my fantasy.
and happened at the end of the game, that I can see 5 games being
So-
why they chose.
Good point, Matt. Speaking of heat and consequences in Columbus, Yarborough just got chopped. That guy's out of there. How does not get ready to take a drink here, guys? How's that Gaudreau contract looking? How's it looking?
It's not looking good, but to be fair, like every other GM wanted to sign him. So like labeling that a mistake, it's hindsight's 2020.
Okay,
It
but
could have been somebody else's mistake.
yeah, but do you think
but
it's the
No.
team though? Like if he was in
Patrick
Philadelphia, do you
I-
think it'd be
I
different?
don't know, man.
But
It seems like Columbus is cursed.
Yeah,
Oh,
that's what I
yeah.
mean, right? Like
Oh my
Because
gosh.
he could not play in Philadelphia, bro. If he can't handle Daryl Sutter, he ain't gonna handle John Tortorella.
yeah,
Straight.
but Tortorella's toned it down.
that we know
The
of.
boys love
Yeah,
it.
they-
And it
he's got
shows in
rat status
silence.
connecting. What a rat head.
Yeah, no, it was time coming for him to get fired. To be
11
honest,
years?
exactly. It was.
yeah. All the moves that he made, if you looked at them in a vacuum, all the moves that he made were good moves.
Yeah.
Any other GM that would have made them would have been like, yes, that's good. Trading for Provorov, excellent. You're Vince Needell, great. Trading for Severson, that was also pretty good.
Yeah.
Like if the Canucks did that, I'd be like, yeah, let's go. I'll get into that.
And
Right.
Jersey's missing him right now.
Yeah.
Like I don't understand how it's something in the water in Columbus.
Yeah, and even their drafting's been good. Like getting Kent Johnson 10th overall, that was a steal for that draft. He's going to be a good kid. Having Werenski, right?
Nice.
So it's just there's something going on in Columbus. They're
Something's
cursed.
going on, man.
The team quite isn't gelling. So
Should have let New Jersey sign him.
yeah.
Even like dude, Gaudreau being afraid of the cannon too, like that might also still be a thing.
So he doesn't want to score.
every time he scores, he freaks out about it.
Did you guys hear what he said?
What?
Yeah, my wife told me that I have to leave Calgary, so I have to go to Columbus. But he wants to be close to home, but not too close to home. I remember that.
Yeah. Like on paper, it was a great move, and I understand Columbus throwing the money at him too because they were
Desperate.
They have a reputation, right? Like it's Columbus, and once Gaudreau signed, the big promo was like, see, like star
wanna
players
come here.
want to be here,
Yeah.
and by all accounts, I haven't heard any NHL player shit on Columbus as a town to go to
That's true.
for good times. Everybody says it's a good time. That it would be a nice place to live, a nice place to play.
Okay, but do you think that's just because they're there already?
No,
I don't know.
people have said things about Winnipeg. when
They
they're there.
shit on
Yeah.
shit on
Yeah,
dude. Like
that's
they
true,
shit on
but-
places, dude. Like there's some bad places to play. Like sorry to rub it in, but like why do you think Matthew Tkachuk wanted to go to Florida? Like why wouldn't you?
No,
Why wouldn't you want to make millions? Like because there's destinations, L.A., Anaheim, like San Jose. But like,
At a time, San
At a
Jose.
time,
At a
yeah.
time, yeah.
like it sucks if you're playing in those places and you're entry level because you still are renting for 5 years of your life. But like, dude, imagine how much is Gaudreau making? 9 sheets?
975.
Imagine how far that goes in Columbus.
It goes very far.
It goes so
Columbus.
far. Dude,
Yeah.
he's probably having a great, and maybe comfort's too much too. I don't know.
So do you think they go in then? Do you think they blow it up?
Yeah.
They
'Cause-
have to.
I mean, like it's not working, but you keep
So-
Gaudreau.
You have
They are actually in a very good position not to blow it up.
Yeah, why?
Because after this season, they have $50 million in cap space for next
Okay.
season.
That's huge.
Then the year after that, they only have 3 contracts.
Oh, yeah.
Gaudreau,
They have-
Werenski, and who's the other one?
Fantilli.
No, not Fantilli. No, it's not Laine. Laine expires.
Oh,
the
yeah.
other, Severson.
Okay.
Those are their 3 contracts that they have in 2 years.
Those
So
are
they-
fine contracts.
You can keep those players.
Yeah.
Everyone else is gone already, so they don't have to blow it up. They just have to wait a couple years
Retool.
and just retool.
And they got a bunch of young players that they can trade for established 26, 27-year-old
Yeah,
guys.
exactly.
And they could revamp, let Fantilli move in, let Kent Johnson keep developing.
Maybe
Yeah.
Laine goes to another team as well.
I think Laine does. I
Yeah.
think
Maybe,
Laine
you
does.
know what? I hate to say it. You know where I'd love for him to play?
Winnipeg.
No, I'd love for him to play for New Jersey
Yeah, I was gonna say you're gonna say New Jersey.
or Pittsburgh.
Oh.
But Pittsburgh has a motto for making players good again.
Yeah, you're right.
That's
yeah,
what-
that was when they had their old.
Jim
Who's that
Rutherford.
guy again?
Yeah.
Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful man. I miss
He
Jim.
looks like a
Jim-
turtle, but yeah.
He does look like a turtle.
Yeah, beautiful man. though,
Absolute
Beautiful man.
doorknob.
Yeah, I love him. But dude, Pittsburgh would be great. New Jersey would be
Yeah,
great.
you're not wrong.
Like Vancouver. Are you guys
No.
Oh, I mean, he might help fix our abysmal power play right now. But hey, I'm holding out hope for Phil Kessel. Let's go.
yeah, that's
Phil
another
the
thing,
Thrill.
guys.
Phil the Thrill.
Phil Kessel, back, boys, in
Let's go.
Vancouver.
That'd be so sick.
I know you guys are Vancouver fans, so please take it away. What are your guys' thoughts on this? Just quick. I just want to hear this.
He would have to be strictly sheltered, power play merchant. I'm absolutely buying his jersey.
Yeah, you have to.
There is something to be said about Vegas winning a cup with him in the press box the entire playoffs.
boy.
But from what I've heard, it's him in the room. That story of him saying like, "No, I don't want to fly back." So they had to win Game 6,
Yeah.
and they did it. Like,
Yeah.
Phil's a guy that can mesh with, I think, any. There hasn't been a single person that doesn't absolutely love Phil the Thrill, and I just vibes, guys. Bring him in. I love him. He's going to be under league minimum because it's a prorated contract.
Yeah.
It's going to be a dent. So if we scratch him a bunch of games, just get him on a line with Petey and just the two of them. I don't even care who the third one is. Hoglander. Puh. That's fun.
Yeah.
That's fun.
Yeah, so the only problem is going to be navigating how his contract fits in, not cap-wise, but in terms of the number of contracts that they have on their team right now. So
Yeah.
if they signed him right now, you can send who's up right now, Archie Bates. You can send him down. It doesn't have to go through waivers. That's fine.
Yep.
As soon as Carson Soucy comes back from injury, then you have to send a guy down to the AHL, and most likely that's going to be Phil DiGiuseppe, Sam Lafferty, those guys in that fourth line role that you send out. But for all those guys, they require waivers.
Yeah.
So the Canucks have to be like, okay, is one of these players going to get claimed by a team?
You're losing PDG. You're losing Lafferty.
Exactly. So whether they make a trade for one of those guys, just get a pick back to get that off the roster and recoup an asset for it, or what I've heard is another solution if Kessel's willing to do this is they sign him to an AHL contract, let him play in the AHL.
Well, he's gonna need to. You see him.
Yeah.
You see him.
He was
in that
gassed.
state.
He was
gassed.
And then he stays in the AHL for the entire season, and then you bring him up for the playoffs where they don't have a contract limit.
Yeah.
And he's close enough that you can work with him. You can he can adapt to systems. You can get talking to him and stuff. Like, I don't know. I think it's the key. Absolutely not.
No.
But would I absolutely love to see that dude in the Canucks jersey?
I
heard that he might be coming to Calgary, and I almost I was so excited. Like, dude, please.
That'd be fun.
Just having Kessel back in the NHL, like he's a gem. Everybody
It's good
loves
for the show.
Kessel.
It's good for the show.
Everybody absolutely loves Kessel. I heard, completely unrelated, boys, I just got a TSN news thing. The New York Islanders are hosting the All-Star game next year, and I don't love it.
I love it. It's going to be the most boycotted All-Star game in a long time.
Imagine
all the stars are not going to want to go there.
Imagine John Tavares makes the All-Star.
So fun. That's
He
so
has to.
fun, dude.
He has to.
John Tavares
All of us have to vote him in.
Absolutely.
Yes.
When we get voters, vote John Tavares into that All-Star game.
I want to see Philly cheesesteaks getting thrown at him on ice and stuff.
Dude. Yeah, Matthews is probably going to be the guy to make the All-Star game because he's an All-Star.
Yep.
Of the league. McDavid, McKinnon, all these guys play filthy games, but nobody in the league.
Boone Jenner.
Nobody can put the puck in the net like Matthews can. That guy, what does he have, 48 and 53?
Yeah.
That's insane. One of the records that Gretzky even said himself that he thought would be the hardest to beat outside of probably total points, because that's insane, is 50 and 50.
Yeah.
This guy might end up scoring 60 and 60, and you'll hear Leaf haters be like, oh, it's not 50 and 50. But he can probably get 60 and 60.
Yeah, he just scored his 6th hat trick this season.
That's insane.
That's nuts.
The Vancouver Canucks and Edmonton Oilers, I believe, have 5 hat tricks in the season, and Matthews himself has 6.
Yeah.
The dude can bury. He is on a tear. He's making the All-Star game. But again, please, let's vote
John Tavares
in. That would be... Will he show up?
Oh,
Yeah, guaranteed he'll show. I don't know if he'd show up. He'd probably pull the Crosby thing,
And just not be there.
not do it. I'm going
Show
to
for the
the
game, and that's it.
Yeah. And he's taking the back exits and everything. He's not showing his face. And
No, exactly. And speaking of Matthews is the only reason why your fantasy team did so hot this week, dude. So shout out to Matthews for
big old 75 points for me from Matthews out of my 350 points.
I'd love to do a little breakdown, of our, because we talk about our fantasy a lot.
Yeah.
So I'd love to do just a little couple shows, show the group here that our fantasy team and everything, and just kind of do something.
That might be a thing for next year if we can get a Talk That Stick fantasy league going.
Yeah,
we
a
can
draft.
get
the fans
some
involved.
fans
Yeah.
involved. If you guys are interested in joining the Talk That Stick Fantasy League, that'd be fantastic.
And
it would be free. It's just for vibes. But that'd be sick.
I'd love for some people to just absolutely crush us. So
Oh yeah.
maybe I get Kucherov again for
$5.
for Tristan Yari again. That would be nice.
Yeah, if you guys hate our takes and think we're idiots, join our fantasy league and absolutely pump us, and then just ream us out in the comments week after week after week. That'd be fantastic. I would like nothing better than one of our viewers to just demolish us.
Yeah, me too, man. I'd love that.
I'd actually hate it a lot.
Anyways, boys, anything else?
No, man.
No.
I just want to say again, happy for all these players that are getting the help that they need. Patrick Laine, shout out to you. Nichushkin, I hope you come back pretty soon. You're on my fantasy team, but I'm happy you're getting the help that you need. And yeah, boys, I loved the pod today.
Yeah, I think it was really good. It's good to have Paul here in person.
It's good to
As
see
a-
you guys, man.
Is everybody giving a little clicker? Yeah.
Snips, boys. But yeah, boys, like I said, lots
Zesty.
lots of things are coming, boys. We're gonna help out the community. We got some sneak peek interviews coming up. Catch us on the April, I think 26th for the Vancouver Canucks Calgary Flames game. We will be there. If you guys want to interview with us and we want to interview with you, feel free.
Yeah, we're gonna have some extra content. We're gonna try to grow this thing, do some fun stuff with viewers or potential viewers in the future, and I think it'll be a lot of fun, boys.
It'd be good.
Yeah. All right, boys. Good pod, boys. Let's keep talking that stick.
Keep talking that stick. It's good to be here in person for the
Yeah.
first time with you guys. Love
The Patrick Laine situation.
it's not getting a lot of coverage because privacy